Alright, Chattermans. So, this is going to be the round 1 of the main stage. I'm gonna do everything else first other than BLGT1, okay? Also, this is with the information that I personally have not watched Furia or Lion in Split 2. I've watched Secret Whales play, I've watched Top Esports play the whole year, I've watched G2 play. Life, I watched T1, I watched BLG, I watched Pain. It might have been Pain, yeah. Okay, Chattermans, moving on. Lion vs Furia, I'm just going to assume that NA is stronger. And I know a lot of people were saying that, oh my god, streamer thinks LCS is better than CBLOL. That's her first mistake in her predictions. But I'm just gonna have to be sheep. Like, I think Inspired is gonna do something to Furia, and Furia is gonna drop to the lower bracket. By the way, there is a low bracket. 今年的 MSI 赛程是有败者组的. You're not out just yet. So I'm gonna predict Lion to proceed into the next round. And then, moving down, Life vs Girls. Guys. Are you guys gonna believe me if I say Life might win against Secret Whales? Could see in Life upset on the Whales. You guys can feel it. Oh my god. I know this is quite the blasphemy of a prediction, but Life might be going into round 2 against the Whales. Okay, so this is the pretty interesting one. G2 versus Top Esports. Purely for Pickems, I think I will be allowed to give a more general take on these two teams. Instead of saying that I'm impressed with G2 due to X, Y, and Z, I think I will be very disappointed in Top Esports this tournament because Top Esports have Zui and Fengyue, who are really new to the international stage. Plus they have Xiaotian, Jackie Love, and Cream. So I think it's a fair assumption for most people to assume G2, the roster that has been together for 2 years, plus upset all the Korean teams from first stand on an international stage, to take the win against Top Esports. I think people online that are saying Top Esports are going to win against G2 are just kind of delusional. 说实话，滔博这个队伍有2个新人，最安跟风月是没有打过国际赛的，一定会有压力。然后 G2 他们都是老头子哎 ，G2 are really old, they're 老油条 you know? Yeah, so I think it's going to be a fair assumption to make that G2 will win against Top Esports. I will not be surprised if Top Esports win against G2, but if I speak more, I'm gonna be in trouble, y'all. If I speak more, I will die. That is all the reasoning that I can tell you guys. I'm gonna say G2 are gonna win against Top Esports. I'm not gonna be able to leak too many things. Okay? LGT1 is probably one of the closest ones because you have 2 factors to factor in. Number 1, T1 are currently 9-0, plus they're more familiar with the stage in Daejeon, so they have momentum. And on the other side, you have BLG, where BLG are probably the first or second favorites besides Life to win the whole tournament. So those are your 2 arguments for this best of 5. First stand, BLG on the international stage, they did not look super clean against BFX. Specifically, I think Viper looked really weird. So that's something that you should also take into consideration, that T1 have had a lot more time on stage. And I think what I predicted last night was T1 win against BLG. I could see the series going either way. BLG on an individual level are definitely way better than T1. If you like imagine why BLG are so strong in Split 2, it's because their solo lanes are so strong. Like I don't even think Shun is the main factor alongside On this year. It's just their solo lanes are so strong. And if you think about it, T1 solo lanes are honestly their weaker points if you want to be a bit more critical. I know being critical against T1 is illegal on the internet, but I think I went with T1 winning against BLG in the first round. Do you think T1 have an advantage because they had a warm-up in the plains? Yes, that was one of my biggest reasons on why I predicted T1 to come out on top. What did you guys predict for T1 BLG? I could see the series going either way. I'm not gonna yap any more about BLG T1. I think I've already given all of my opinions about this matchup. I'm gonna go with a T1 win, and please don't cancel me, LPL fans. But BLG and Top Esports might both end up in the lower bracket. And that's going to be round 1 done. Round 2. I think it's also inevitable that Inspired will always verse T1 at some point in the year. Well, we already saw T1 manhandle Team Liquid twice. Not once, twice. So I think it's probably normal that T1 is going to win against Lion. That's not a hot take. That's a very mediocre take. I am not going to say anything about this. I am not going to say anything about this. You guys will watch me click the screen and I will not elaborate. Okay? Okay? Look at me in the eyes. I will not elaborate. All you guys need to do is look at the screen. We have to be on the same wavelength right now. Okay? Don't ask me why. Don't ask me how. And don't ask me what. Just don't ask me. Okay? If I speak, I am in trouble. Let's do some of the lower bracket. BLG versus Furia. If BLG actually do lose against T1, and the way that my upper bracket plays out, does that mean BLG have to play 2 Korean teams? BLG will win against Furia. Unfortunately, either Furia or Secret Wells will be the team that gets eliminated first, depending on who plays first. I hope you guys understand. And I know that Top Esports are not that bad to lose to another Vietnamese team, right? Nah, no way Jackie Love loses to Vietnam again, right? 2022 Worlds 2022年的世界赛 with the Maw of Memorious bug. 人家魔抗刀没有打出被动啊。哎呀，听见你说外站看到过。路边一坨. Alright, so that's what happened the last time Top Esports versed Vietnam. Top Esports will win against Secret Whales. I refuse to believe that Top Esports will lose. Top Esports will win against Secret Whales. I refuse to believe that this is gonna happen again. That history repeats itself. G2 would go on a low bracket run. Top Esports will win. I mean, this is just purely of my opinions. So we already explained why G2 will probably make the next round. I did not elaborate on round 2 purely because I value my life. Okay, Chattermans. Lower bracket round 2. Hanalei versus BLG, Lion versus Top Esports. I think most people probably don't have the same predictions as me. I'm gonna be real. I honestly think BLG is gonna win against Hanalei. Like, I think BLG is gonna win against Hanalei. For some reason, I have Hanalei like literally bomb me out in the second half of this tournament, but I will predict that BLG will win against Hanalei, and I'm gonna predict an early exit for Hanalei. I know Hanalei and BLG are the front runners because they are the first seed of LCK and LPL, and they are usually the strongest regions across the world. But this is my prediction. Okay, Leon versus Top Esports. There's a pretty realistic world where this just happens. BLG will forever father Top Esports, so I think that is no issue whatsoever. It's gonna be BLG versus Top Esports, BLG win, and BLG make it to the final round of the lower bracket. And then we have, back to the upper bracket, T1 versus G2. It could either turn out like this. There's 3 outcomes. T1 win against G2, which historically is correct. G2 drop to the low bracket, and historically BLG win against G2, and the grand finals is going to be T1 versus BLG, which is very hype. Because this will be an international rematch of World 2024. And BLG, if they win, could continue their golden road. This is the first reality. There could be another reality. Oh shit, no. There could be another reality. There could be G2 dropping to lower bracket and winning against BLG, and it's going to be T1 versus G2, which I think is also very cool. I think T1 will probs win like this. That's going to be reality number 2. Or reality number 3. G2 win against T1. I don't know how high I am for saying this. And G2 make it into the grand finals. And you have T1 versus BLG in the lower bracket. Oh my god, bro. Like, the bestie triangle, literally love triangle type shit, and there's a cuck chair prepared for one of the 3 people. Like, this is so depressing. This is literally cuck simulation maximized. Like, I don't even know what to say, bro. Oh my god, this is so bad. Okay, anyway, G2 make it into the finals. You could have either T1 or BLG winning, and it's gonna be absolute cinema narrative anyway. I think my prediction of a tournament is quite cinema. Chat, you guys don't have to say anything else outside of the yes or no. Do we believe in Pookie-sama? Yes or no? 这次的国际赛该不该相信自己的老公呢？诶 Steven, you're back? I said, will this be the first time in a while to believe in Pookie-sama? Do you wanna look at my prediction, Leia?
I need to go.
Oh, you need to go? Okay, bye. There could be this reality where it's G2 BLG grand finals as well, which I think is very believable, to be honest. If you watched first stand, G2 will always lose against the LPL. It's true. It's written in the stars. That's actually true, by the way. Okay. For MSI 2026, I'm gonna pick, well, I should say extra loud so all the G2 players across the wall can hear me say that G2 will win. 因为我这个墙的对面就是 G2 的训练室，我要是大声的说出来，他们都能听到。Okay, I'm gonna predict that G2 are going to win MSI 2026. Against BLG in the grand finals, okay?